Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with a update on the aft section of the stern, and I'm going to show you guys some progress that I've made and some things that I have worked out, making me very happy, and we'll show you some differences via what the mock wanted me to do and what I ended up doing. We'll start out over here on the computer. You guys can see I am on the part where we start to get the gears and axles all put in for the propellers. And here you guys can see kind of originally how the mock had you doing the gearing. Very compact, very easy, very well running design, but that gear setup did not allow for the prototypical aspect. It just got the parts moving. I preferred to have the parts moving not only in the correct direction, but in the correct speed. And through a lot of figuring out and using old ideas, I was able to accommodate my gearing and work out a solution to solve my problem. Basically what ends up happening here is that gray gear right in the middle there, the motor sits up top, a little bit higher up in the build, and it's actually geared down from the motor to that gear. So this center axle that runs the rudder prop is what powers the entire gear train and spins the other propellers. That's not an issue with my gearing, but I figured I'd let you know why there's a gear back here. Now you guys can see big difference in mine versus the mock. And actually what I did was I used my original gear layout with a couple minor changes just for some better running. But this is basically exactly how I had it in my first version of the Titanic. If you guys saw the disassembly of the stern section, you guys actually got to see that gearing before I tore it all apart. And luckily I did take pictures as I was building it the first time, so that way I could see everything that I did, because when I took it back apart, everything came apart very quickly and I couldn't quite remember how I had the gearing. And so luckily I was able to reference back to my photos, make a few changes. Originally what I had was these gray gears were in place where these red gears were, and I was supporting this red gear a little differently. And I decided to go with the red style clutch gears that can run on a smooth pin, and for the fact of they roll really nice, they roll smooth. There's 2 points of rotation, unlike on a keyed gear for an axle. I only get 1 point of rotation, and that's where that pin plugs into the block. These allow for a double-sided smooth pin, and they help retain the gear from coming off, unlike these, which these can eventually slide off. And it allows not only for the act of the pin to turn in the block, it allows for the gear to turn separately from the pin. And you guys can see down here I used a 3-wide smooth pin just to help support that one all the way through. And I was able to kind of redesign it. Literally all the same gear sizes. These red gears are the exact same tooth count as the gray gears. I am using a black gear down in here like I did originally, and like the mock wants you to, and then using a bigger gear up top here to kind of connect everything together. And what that allows everything to do now is the starboard prop and the port prop spin opposite directions of each other, but at the same speed, and then the rudder prop spins the same direction as the starboard prop, but slightly faster. That's pretty prototypical to what the real Titanic did. I think the speed on the rudder prop was faster than what I have it geared for, but there's literally no way to make it any better than what it is. But I am happy with how it works. And even though all the gearing is up here, that still translates even with running off of this gear. So if I spin, you guys can see everything turns. Kind of do a long shot here for you. So you guys can see the starboard and port prop spins separate directions, while the rudder prop spins the same direction as the starboard prop. And it's a little hard to see, but if you guys pay really close attention and actually follow the fins on the propellers, you'll see that as I rotate this, the rudder prop is spinning faster than the starboard one. That's the easiest one to match it with, because they're both going the same direction. So if you look at those two and you kind of follow where the blades are, you'll see that the blades on the rudder prop are actually overtaking the starboard prop. So it is spinning faster and in the same direction. And that's exactly what I wanted. It. You guys can actually see it a little bit better if I spin it faster. You guys can see. And I'm proud of that. When I first designed this on my first version of the Titanic, it was super cool. You know, I had it to where if you had the engines plugged in and you spun one or the other engine, everything spun because everything is geared together. Now, if you have built the Titanic and just built it stock, you know that nothing is connected. Each engine and the starboard and port engines are just connected to their props, and you spin that one engine, and all it would do is just spin that one propeller. And nothing would spin the rudder prop. So when I originally came up with this idea on the first Titanic, I wanted everything to work. I love Technic stuff, and I love just moving parts. So I really took a lot of time to try to figure out how to make that work and fit, because I am, you know, in a very narrowing area right there. And lo and behold, my original design worked, and this go around we made it better. And that's what it's all about this time, is making this Titanic function not just more, but better. And you guys, well, now with this being geared and it being geared up to a motor, I will lose the ability to spin these from the engines. But once I have the stern section separated from the middle section and I turn that motor on, then you'll still be able to see the engines turning and everything turning. So just kind of losing a little bit of the hands-on play on that, but not worried about that at all. It's going to be really awesome, and really excited. I did try to figure out a new gear arrangement, and I think I tried about 20 different ideas, and none of them worked except for my original design. So that's when I decided, well, we're going to go back to the original design that I had and try to better it, and that's what I was able to do. So I'm really happy with that. You guys can see you spin one thing, everything spins. So that's what I want. Also making sure there's not too much drag to where, however it's treed down to this gear, back here everything is going to be able to rotate smoothly. Nothing is binding up. And that was actually an issue that I had when I kind of first went back to my old design here. I went ahead and built another wall and actually pinned these clear through, and tried to make it a lot more rigid through here. And I was actually finding out that it was holding my gears in too tight of a tolerance. Some of these tolerances are already pretty tight. You guys can see the meshing of the teeth. They're pretty much bottoming out. And when I had everything built up and had another row of Technic blocks here holding everything in place, it was just too tight. Everything was binding, and I had remembered in my original design on the first version I did not have that issue, and I did not have extra support up top here. So that's another reason why we decided to go with these pins, these gears, to solve a lot of issues and still have some relaxed fit in these gears where they can kind of move around, and but still make very good contact. So a lot of problem solving in that, just this one little area to make all that a thing. So really happy with that. I can move on now and build up the rest of this. I think once I get a little bit further and get the motor in place, we'll do another update then. But I really wanted to update you guys on this section because this is really what makes it prototypical. Gives it a lot of realism in the back end there when everything's turning not only the correct direction but even prototypical speed of per what I can do given the Lego gears. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the update. I'm filming this the day after the 4th of July, so hopefully you guys had an awesome Independence Day. Watch some fireworks and all that. So yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care.